Hello, everybody, and welcome to Nevada, Missouri. I am Chad Grimmer, voice of the Harrisonville Wildcats. And, folks, it's been a while. I just posted on Facebook. I said, hey, come and join us as we are ready for some high school baseball. It's been a busy, 6-7 weeks for Jerry and I both. I have been student teaching at Raymore Peculiar and just got done with that last week. And you know how baseball is, those 4:30 start times, hard for us to be able to get to those games, get set up and able to broadcast with everything else going on. We're glad we were able to get here today. We've got the regular season finale, the Wildcats taking on the Nevada Tigers down here in Nevada at Lions Field. Very nice complex here in Nevada. So we have the game this afternoon. And then next week is soccer and baseball districts, and hopefully we will be able to get those on. I know they both start their districts on Saturday, but Jerry will be in Liberal, Kansas, calling KCK baseball. I will be on my way to Bolivar for my niece's graduation, so a lot going on Saturday, so we won't have that on Saturday, but hopefully we will have games for both baseball and soccer next week, as I anticipate them both winning on Saturday, and that would be great to have going next week. So we've got baseball set to come your way here this afternoon, your Wildcats and the Nevada Tigers. Let's run down the lineups for you. First, for the visitors on the scoreboard, batting first will be the Wildcats of Harrisonville. It'll be left fielder Connor Blixt leading off and batting first. In the two-hole will be the second baseman, Hunter Ferguson. Batting third and playing shortstop will be Corbin Hall. Batting fourth and hitting cleanup will be Carson Miller. Batting fifth, playing right field, will be Drew Appleman. Batting sixth and playing first base will be Tucker Vassar. Batting seventh and playing third base will be Jackson Morris. Batting eighth and doing the pitching today will be Jake Tiemann. And playing center field, rounding out the lineup, batting ninth will be Nathan Lyon for the Wildcats. And I was talking to Coach Hicks a little bit before the game. He said Jake will be his opener. If you aren't familiar with kind of the way baseball has gone over the last couple of years, instead of having a closer now, you have an opener, pitch an inning or two, have them on a pinch limit, and then bring somebody else in. If all goes well, you will see probably Jake on Monday against hopefully Pleasant Hill if the Cats can win over the weekend versus Clinton, a team they beat pretty good earlier in the year. But you know how baseball is. It's one game at a time. It just takes one good game. And if the Cats can string together a couple of good games, they could maybe make a run at a district championship. For Nevada, the home team on the scoreboard, it will be leading off playing shortstop will be Eli Cheney. Batting second and pitching, Case Sanderson. Batting third and catching will be Blake Pryor. Batting fourth and DHing will be Logan Marquardt. Batting fifth and playing center field, Elijah Nadarata. And batting sixth, playing right field, will be Cade Bishore. Batting Bishore. Batting seventh, playing third base, will be Drake Seaver. Batting eighth, playing left field, will be Lane Wilson. And rounding out the lineup, batting ninth, playing second base, Drake Ketterman. So those are the starters for both sides here tonight. Defensively for this one, for Nevada coming out first, it'll be Wilson in left, Nadarata in center, Bishore in right. Around the infield will be Seaver at third, Cheney at shortstop. Second baseman will be Ketterman, first baseman Hiley. Behind the plate will be Pryor, and on the mound, Case Sanderson. For the Wildcats around the outfield, it'll be Blixt in left, Lyon in center, Appleman in right, Morris at third, Hall at shortstop, Ferguson at second, Vassar at first. Behind the plate, Carson Miller, and on the mound, Jake Tiemann for the Wildcats. So that rounds out both sides for us here in this one. We're about 10 minutes or so away from your first pitch, and we are ready to rock and roll here from Nevada. Kind of fun to get back in the swing of it. We talked about that. A lot of good stuff going on. Something I want to tell you guys about if you're out there and listening. June 19th, you need to mark it on your calendars. June 19th, Mike and Dave's first annual Summer Bash out at one of our great sponsors, Red Barn Ranch. And it's being put on by another one of our great sponsors, Mike Johnson of Excalibur Contracting. All proceeds for this fundraiser are going to go to the Booster Club. So they're going to donate the funds for this party to the Booster Club. I'm not sure if you're familiar, but the Booster Club has purchased 2 new Big Blues, and they're going to wrap these bad boys in this beautiful blue. I saw it today. I went and talked to Mike, and guys, anybody that knows Mike Johnson knows he's got a great big blue 6-door truck that he drives around in. Imagine that, but a little bit more shiny blue, a little more deep blue. That's what those buses are going to be rounded out in. And hey, I mean, you might as well have blue buses if you call it Big Blue. And, they've got 2 Big Blues right now, but they're white with Wildcat claws on the side of them. So let's get them blue. This is going to go to that. They're going to have bands, food. There's going to be stuff for the adults. If you want to go by yourself, you and your wife on a date, plenty of stuff for adults to do. If you want to bring your kids, there'll be plenty of stuff for the kids to do as well. So you have all kinds of different things going on out at the Red Barn Ranch, and we're going to have some fun with it in June 19th. Another fundraiser we're looking at doing at the end of the summer for 4Ts is going to maybe involve some big money giveaway as well as possibly several scholarships. So we may talk about that a little bit later, talk to Jerry about it and such, and see what we can do. But that is what we will have going on over the course of the game. We'll talk about that a little bit, and we'll talk about the first annual, as Mike called it the first annual. I said, you can't call it the first annual. It's got to be the inaugural. But the first annual Mike and Dave's Summer Bash. It's going to be a truck show. You're going to see some big trucks out there. You're going to have some cars, motorcycle, everybody, fun for the whole family. So that will be coming your way on June 19th. For us, we got this game tonight. On next Monday, hopefully we will have a game at 7 o'clock against Pleasant Hill, depending on what happens this weekend. Tuesday night, we will probably have a soccer game against Barstow if I was a betting person, and that will be in Pleasant Hill as well. But we hope to have both of those. And, of course, you guys all know how districts rolls, and from there on out, it's the MSHSAA thing, as you will have MSHSAA. You will have MSHSAA TV next week. But we'll get to all that here in a few minutes. We're going to take a time out before we get started here with your first pitch after this.
There are a ton of choices for home appliances, but only one you need to know. That's Troby's Maytag Home Appliance Center in Harrisonville. Today, it's more important than ever to support small business. Troby's prides themselves on American-made appliances, competitive prices, and unmatched service, from installation to service calls if any issue may arrive. Troby's is your hometown appliance center.
Next time you're in the market for a home appliance, think Troby's first on Plaza Drive right behind Hawthorne Bank.
You have many choices when you buy a used car. What do you want? A good deal? A quality vehicle? Outstanding service? At Holland's Auto Sales, you don't have to sacrifice for one of the others. You get all three. The best part is Steve will be there for you because Holland Auto Sales has been Harrisonville's used car dealer for 36 years. So the next time you're in the market for a used car,
go where the Grammars go, Holland Auto Sales, and ask for Steve.
Competition between teammates makes for a stronger and better team. Lacey Domnick of Shelter Insurance and Cameron Chenoweth of American Family Insurance were both Wildcats on the field. Now they are competitors off the field. They know that you have many choices for insurance, so they're teaming up to offer free auto, home, and life insurance quotes. Call Lacey at 816-380-2700 or Cam at 816-380-3996 and get started on your new insurance quote today.
Sherwood Community Bank is the hometown bank with all the big bank perks. Internet banking, auto, home, boat, and farm loans. You can get it all at one of their 4 convenient locations in Urick, Creighton, Garden City, or Harrisonville. Checking or savings account all you need? Don't worry. Sherwood Community Bank has you covered there as well. Stop going to the banks where you're just an account number. Go to Sherwood Community Bank, where you're part of the family.
And tell them Braxton sent ya.
When it rains, it pours, so it's important for you to get coverage that meets your needs. Farmers Insurance Agent Bradley Sainer can help you understand your options so you can be prepared for what the forecast brings. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. Learn more by calling Farmers Agent Bradley Sainer at 816-974-8105 to find out how he can help you protect the things that matters most to you. That's Bradley Sainer at 816-974-8105.
We are farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
How nice would it be to get a check from someone and not have to worry about getting to the bank to put it in your account? At Hawthorne Bank, you can do exactly that. Simply open your mobile banking app, take a picture of the check, and voila, the check has been deposited into your account. Not to mention, you can always manage your accounts and payments right in the app as well. Hawthorne Bank prides itself on being at the forefront of technology to always make your banking a breeze. Hawthorne Bank, next to Troby's on Plaza Drive. We all have a checklist when it comes to getting car care. No matter what is on your list, convenience, knowledge, affordability, friendliness, Colby's Car Clinic has you covered. Convenience is being right here in Harrisonville and taking care of all car care problems. From an oil change to tires and everything in between, it's your only stop. Knowledge is covered with having an ASE certified master technician. Affordability means they will work with you to not break your budget. And friendliness greets you each time you walk in the door as they treat you like an old friend. Go see Colby and the gang right behind O'Reilly's in the Big Blue Building.
Does your lawn need some TLC? Owned and operated by 3 generations of Wildcats, Heltz Turf Farm is your local stop for sod and topsoil since 1971. Whether you need one roll of sod, a scoop of dirt, or a whole truckload, they have you covered. A new home in your future? Give us a call at 816-540-2020 and set up a quote for new sod installation. Heltz Turf Farm is located between Harrisonville and Pleasant Hill and is open.
A strong lineup is always important no matter the sport. The same should go for your insurance company as well. At Stafford & Stafford Insurance, your auto, commercial, life, health, farm, and crop insurance is all under one roof. With a lineup like that, they are sure to have your team covered. Call the team that will line up with the best of them. Stafford & Stafford Insurance in Harrisonville, located on Commercial Street across from Holland's Auto Sale.
Atkinson Funeral Home and Cremation Services has been serving families in the area since 1929. The Atkinsons take great pride in being members of the community. They will soon graduate a 4th-generation Wildcat. With this kind of commitment to Harrisonville, you know Atkinson Funeral Home will be there for you. And as always, they are proud supporters of the Harrisonville Wildcats. A community always needs a group to help promote the small businesses in its town. Harrisonville Chamber of Commerce does this for Harrisonville. Chamber Golf Tournament, Log Cabin Festival, and monthly meetings. The Chamber events are plentiful and a great way for your business to be seen. Go to harrisonvillechamber.com or watch the weekly Chamber chat for more Chamber happenings.
No matter the time of day, we could all use a Route 44 from Sonic. Good news, if you order in the Sonic app, you get happy hour all day. That means drinks are half price anytime on the Sonic app. Don't worry, it's still traditional happy hour from 2 to 4 every day at the Sonic of Harrisonville. So if you need to refuel with a drink or maybe you need a snack, come see the gang at Sonic and fuel up.
Welcome back to Lions Field in Nevada, Missouri. We are ready for high school baseball action. You're 4-13. Harrisonville Wildcats taking on the Nevada Tigers in this one, the regular season finale for the Wildcats. Their next game is Saturday versus Clinton. They're the 4 seed in the district tournament. Clinton, the 5 seed. Winner of that game will go on to play on Monday night against the 1-seeded Pleasant Hill Roosters. And I'll tell you what, if you start playing the right ball at the right time of year, in high school baseball, especially in Missouri, anything can happen because it's a one-game setting. And, I'm going to bring in somebody that knows a little bit something about baseball in general, the voice of the KCK
Blue
Devils, Jerry Forschler. And, of course, Jerry, me and you don't get to have very much fun on air. Gary talks so much, he never lets you talk. And so we don't get you on much, so it's going to be fun to have you sitting next to me today.
Well, I'm always enjoy the opportunity, and especially baseball. Love football, passionate about baseball. Got a lefty on the mound. Take this thing.
Love the Southpaws. Their ball just dances a little bit different, Jerry, and I know that from experience because I'm a lefty myself. First pitch strike to Blixton. We're underway from Nevada. 0-1 right down the pipe, and it's quickly no balls, 2 strikes on the senior Blixt. Connor getting set to head to Longview. Line shot into right field. It's going to hit for a base hit. Connor around first. He gives a big turn, and he'll have a leadoff single for the Wildcats. Getting back to Connor, he is headed to Longview, which is MCC now, Metropolitan Community College. Go take his classes at Longview, and he's going to be a part of the cross-country team up there for 2 years. And that brings us to Hunter Ferguson, who is headed to Central Methodist to play baseball. So here we go. First pitch strike. Sanderson doing what he's supposed to do, throwing that first pitch strike. Connor got down 0-2, but was able to take a 2-strike shot to right field. So runner on first, back on the throw over. That line drive was really reminiscent of another line drive I remember in 2009 when Harrisonville went to the state final four. Kyle Livingston, Cats were down to their last strike. Kyle Livingston put one down the right field line for a 3-run double, and able to give the Cats a quarterfinal victory and a shot at the state championship in the final four. So Sanderson working out of the stretch now with Blixt over at first. And here's the pitch, low and away for a ball. 2 balls and a strike, they count now. No score, just underway from Nevada. So Ferguson up at the plate. Blixt on first with a leadoff single. And Blixt is off and running. Throw down to second is short hopped into center field, and Blixt going to go first to third. I don't know if that one felt too good on the rear end when he slid into third. Kind of winced as he gets up. So a stolen base by Blixt, and then he moves to third on the error.
No hesitation. When the ball kicked out to the outfield, he was on his horse. He made his commitment and headed over.
And strike 3 called on Ferguson. So he is down looking and brings us to Corbin Hall. But it's good. You got a runner now on third with just 1 out. Pass ball could give you the early lead in this one. You're quick on the bases. That can help you out. And, you know, there's always been that debate, Jerry. That one was low and away. Do you go head first into second, or do you slide in feet first?
At home or second?
At second. And that one is going to get away, but not quite far enough away for Blix to advance and try to score. But, you know, Blix shows right there, you quick pop up and head to third, as opposed to, you know, sometimes you dive in there. They got that long dive. It's a little bit harder.
You don't see many in Major League Baseball that do not go head first. They've all got that oven mitt on their hand.
And tell me how you feel about that oven mitt. We've had this conversation before.
It looks like it helps you get there quicker to me.
Right. You got a couple extra inches on that. It's going to help you slide in there faster. I know we've had that conversation before. This one is inside. And it's a 3-ball, 1-strike count to Corbin Hall, with the Cats on a runner on third and 1 out here in the top of inning number 1. Strike 2 called. Outside corner.
The zones these days are wide and not tall, usually.
And that's a line shot at the shortstop. It's going to do its job and get the run home. And they do get the out over at first. So an RBI ground out by Corbin Hall. Goes 6-3.
Batter got his job done. Hit it at least to shortstop and to the right side. That way you're going to get that run.
So 1-0 our score. And quickly in there for strike 1 is Sanderson. We talked about it. He's hitting that first pitch strike. Does it again there. And 3 out of the 4 has had that first pitch strike. This one goes inside on Miller for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count to him. And that one's looks slow, but Jerry talked about it. You know, they're giving that low strike. It was on the outside corner for strike 2. So quickly 1-2 to Miller. Here's the 1-2, and it is fouled down the right field side and out of play. On top of the Cats dugout. Going to bring up a 1-2 count again. We'll do it all over. So, top of the first, Cats lead 1-0 over Nevada. Comes on wind up in the 1-2. Off speed, gets him swinging. So a hit, an error, a man or nobody left at the end of half an inning. Cats lead 1-0.
Something that good teams always possess is the fact they got each other's back. Schroeder Chiropractor in Harrisonville has your back. With 2 chiropractors, 3 therapists, and an amazing office staff, you will feel right at home. And they have a warm, family-friendly waiting area. They will take care of your aches and pains and have you feeling like new. Schroeder Chiropractic has the community's back as well, being actively involved in the Bright Futures and Harrisonville youth sports. Whether it's aches and pains or getting involved in the community, Schroeder Chiropractic has your back.
All right, half an inning in the books. The Cats lead it by a count of 1-0. Nevada getting their shot at it here. Sanderson pitched pretty good in that first inning, getting those first pitch strikes for Nevada, but a leadoff single, a stolen base, and an error leads to a run for the Cats on the ground out by Corbin Hall, and the Cats lead it 1-0. Coach Hicks, talking to him before the game, he said the one thing they've kind of struggled with at times this year is playing from behind. So good to get that first run on the board. Maybe give yourself a little confidence going into the bottom of the first inning. So for Nevada, it's going to be Cheney, Sanderson, Pryor. Anyone gets on, Marquardt. So the shortstop, Cheney, at the plate. Defensively for the Cats, it's Blix, Lyon, Appleman around the outfield. Around the infield, Morris, Hall, Ferguson, Vassar. Behind the plate, Miller, and Tiemann on the mound. First pitch ball, 1 ball, no strikes to count as we're underway in the bottom of the first inning. Early lead for the Cats. There's a strike through there. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. To the leadoff hitter, Cheney. There's a windup in the 1-1. Curve over but low for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. Two balls and a strike to count. Here goes the 2-1. Just missed on the outside edge, and it'll be a 3-ball, 1 strike count. So a 3-1 count here. And that one is lined into right field for a base hit. And both leadoff hitters with the base hit to right to start things off. And, you know, here's something you think about, too, if you're Miller back there. You know, maybe talk to Blue back there and say, where do you need it on the outside? Because that was there in the top of the first, and you want to know for your catcher or for your pitcher's sake where he needs to be. Infield fly probably in effect here. Caught by the third baseman, Morris.
Not with just 1 run on.
There you go. See? Thank you. That's why I've got you here, Jerry. Morris with the catch. And there's 1 out, 1 on.
Runners at first and second. Runners at first, second, and third with less than 2 outs.
And there's a curve. Now that was on that outside corner, but you want to get consistent on that corner there. It's kind of been interesting.
The plate doesn't seem to be as wide with the curveball as it does the fastball typically in terms of how it looks.
Was outside, good pitch to throw on for Miller, but a little late getting there, and a stolen base for Cheney. And he's down at second with a 1 out. So 1 ball, 1 strike count here in the first. And this one is popped into shallow right field. Right fielder giving chase. Appleman not going to get there. And it's going to drop. And runner going to move from second to third. And we'll have first and third. So that brings up Logan Marquardt.
1 down. I thought you were searching for that.
No, I don't really know what I was doing at that point, Jerry. It's been a while since I've been behind the mic. You'd think I haven't ever done this before.
It's different.
It definitely is.
The last thing you were calling was basketball, where every time they made a pass.
Yes. Baseball definitely is a change of pace. There's a line shot right into center field, right to Lyon. He's quick up with it, but station to station goes Nevada, and they have got to run home. And it is 1-1 now. Back-to-back singles. So Nadarada up there. That just sounds like a baseball name.
It sure does.
Elijah Nadarada. Love it. And there's a line shot just past the outstretched hands of Ferguson into right field. Runner comes home to score. That'll be Pryor in there. And 3 straight base hits by Nevada. And it's 2-1 for Nevada. Miller went out there real quick, chat with him.
At the plate for the Tigers, the right fielder, number 4, Cade Beshore.
So Beshore up there. So first and second still with 1 out here in the bottom of the first. 2-1 our score. And this one's outside for a ball. Good block by Miller there to keep it in front of him and not allow those base runners to advance.
That's not an easy thing to do, a curveball that's halfway, a third of the way out into the other box.
And it's tailing away from you. For him to keep it in front of him was a good job right there. Outside corner for strike. And there's that difference. If you can see it from the camera angles there, that fastball in that corner looks a little bit different than the way the curveball working. And that was in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to count 1 out. First and second. And Tiemann throws behind the runner there. They're going to call a balk on that. He was on the rubber.
Well, he was on the rubber, but when his left foot came down, it didn't break back to the backside of the rubber. Therefore, he had to come to the plate and did not. So I think he lost his balance a little bit there. When you turn back, you try and keep the weight on the back foot, and at that point, he didn't.
So that'll move runners in the scoring position with 1 out here in the first. And there's a line shot. Nice snag at shortstop. Did they double him up? And they do. Corbin Hall with the old double play line drive. And then a toss over to third for 2. And they get the 2 runs. And that is it. 2 runs. And the score after 1, 2-1 at Cats Trail. When you're searching for insurance, it's good to be able to call an agent in your town that can protect you. So if you're looking for auto, life, renters, boat, ATV, or any other weekend toy to be covered, call CPSK Insurance, an auto owner's affiliate. Call and talk to one of the local agents, Summer, Randy, Amanda, or Chandra, located right off I-49 and 291 in Harrisonville at the Millwalk Mall. They can give you a quote and get you covered quickly and easily. If your business needs covered, they can help you out there as well. Call them today at 816-380-3800 or visit them online at cpskinsurance.com. Let the local agents go to work for you. All right, welcome back. 1 inning in the books, and it's 2-1. That's just one of those baseball things right there. You know, you talked about Coach Hicks has talked about playing from behind and getting behind early in game situations. That's the type of inning you need to get out of. You had second and third, 1 out, and they were hitting the ball pretty solid. That could have ended up being a not so great inning as it's quickly 0-2.
Well, and the same thing goes with you mentioning this lefty getting his first pitch strikes over. Every picture in the game, that's high and outside, every picture of the game is the at-bat, the inning, and the total overall of the entire game.
Because Hall doesn't make that snag, you're looking at a 4-1 deficit, probably a runner maybe on first, but you know, where it was hit and as hard as it was hit, you could have had a double there, and you're looking at 4-1 and still only 1 out. And instead, you got a 2-2 count here, and just getting a piece of it is Appleman to foul it straight back here. And we'll do the 2-2 all over again. So we're in the top of the second, 2-1. Sanderson on the mound for Nevada. Here's the 2-1. Curveball outside corner, cold strike 3. And that is the 3rd strikeout by the big lefty in this one.
And that's the difference in the outside corner of the curveball with a left-hander on the mound and the right-hander on the mound. Throw him 1 out there.
One's cutting away, one's cutting in. That brings us to Tucker Vassar. And it was a low 4-1, one of the few times. I believe that's just the 2nd time in the first 6 batters that Sanderson has not thrown first pitch strike. Vassar steps out, gets a little extra swing, trying to change up the momentum. You know, sometimes that's what you need to do. You got a pitcher working quick and working fast. You know, break it up a little bit there. That's what they tried to do there. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Pop straight up in front of the Cats dugout. Going to bounce off the dugout, and we'll do it at 1-2 now. So top of the second inning, 2-1 our score. Jerry's been, I probably should have let you do the play-by-play today. You've been doing this for the last couple of months. It's probably a little more smooth for you.
I like being behind the computer. It's tough when I'm doing KCK because I'm running 2 pan tilt zooms. I've got a camera out in the outfield that I'm switching, and I'm announcing the game.
Yeah, where's all of our other cameras at, Jerry? I've seen your production for KCK. Hey, anybody wants to know what the production looks like at KCK, better get a hold of Jerry and check it out because it is definitely a nice production. And down goes Vassar there, and that is the 4th strikeout of the game.
Now batting for Harrisonville, the third baseman, number 21.
They appealed the swing, and the umpire down at first called that it was a swing, therefore the out.
So that is the 4th.
We were looking at each other talking when that was going on.
Hey, that's what you do in baseball. You know this. I'm sure you enjoying the fact you have somebody to talk back to you.
Absolutely.
So 2 outs here in the top of the second. 1 ball count.
I'm just thankful that we have enough internet that we've been able to do this. You know how much I hate trying to work without the internet. And, you get all those cameras hooked to a network. That's going to be a strike called there on the outside corner.
Well, and that's another thing, a lot of people, people be like, well, what, why is this our first game we've done this year? But another thing that boils down to, we have a shot in the hole picked up by the third baseman, fires to first in time. So Seaver to Hiley for the out and a quick 1-2-3 inning on the 5-3 put out. And we'll take a quick timeout. We'll finish that thought when we get back.
For a limited time, you pay what we pay going on at Max Motors dealerships. Shop 24 hours a day. Exclusive at Max Motors, you pay what we pay and not a penny more on any new Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, Buick, or GMC in stock. All invoices clearly displayed with the highest trade-in values in the Midwest.
Take your car shopping to the max.
Max Motors is your Kansas City dealer. MaxMotors.com. See dealer for details.
So we're back finishing that thought before the break, Jerry. We were talking about, one of the reasons also, we know what kind of internet we have at Harrisonville. And we can get it from the school with the little beaming stuff. But we don't have that on the road. And with high school baseball, sometimes you're playing out in the middle of a field. You're not within distance of any power or anything else. So it's really hard. Set up in Nevada down here. George Lyons Stadium is beautiful. We got our own level of the press box. We're right here, good view for people. So that's what's kind of exciting for us today.
We, the internet, it makes so many things great, but it can also keep you from bringing something great that you liked to in the past. Hey, let's go to the bottom half of the second here. I almost said the Blue Devils with Wildcats trailing 2-1.
So here we go, bottom of the second inning. First pitch to Seaver inside for a ball. 1 ball, no strike count.
And that pitch inside creates more of a purpose than anything. Now the outside corner, he's maybe leaning not quite so out there.
Ground ball up the middle. Hall up with it, fires to first, but it pulls him off the back. Great play by Hall. Hall's mad at himself right there. And I'll tell you, the leather work from Hall in the first couple of innings has been nice. He had another good stop there, just didn't quite get it over in time. Had to hurry his throw a little bit with Seaver getting down the line, and it'll be an infield single.
And he's ranged in both directions. The line drive, he went to his right, and then on that ball there, he went to his left.
Little slap bunt down the third base line and foul. It'll be a 1-strike count. So playing a little small ball here with the number 8 hitter, left fielder Wilson up there. So Lane Wilson at the plate. See if they still have that bunt on here. Probably not the look of a bunt the coach wanted there. It was more of a slap bunt than it was an actual bunt. Now this one gets in the hole. And again, Hall can't quite get to this one. It's going to be a base hit. And from first to third goes Seaver.
That'll be another hit going to the outfield just a little bit under the glove. Not an error there. Just going after the ball, and it got past him.
So it brings up the 9-hitter, Jake Ketterman. And a lot of times you put that number 9 guy as a guy that can get you back to the top of the order, and also is very good with his bat with a bunt as well. We'll see what goes on here. Nobody out, 2 on in the bottom of the second. And this one is lined down the left field line, and that's going to drop. 1 run is in. Blix quickly gets it in, and it'll be a double for the number 9 hitter Ketterman, and also it gets him back to the top of that line up there with a nice hit down the line. So a double and an RBI.
And still nobody out.
And Coach Hicks told me before the game he was going to be on about a 50-pitch limit here today for Tiemann. And that makes it a 3-1 contest with runners at second and third. So that'll be all for Tiemann. We'll see what they're going to do. Looks like they're going to flip it around. Looks like Appleman may be coming in to pitch. Connor going to go to right field, Connor Blix. And I think that means Tiemann will probably go out to left field. So, yeah, here comes Tiemann back out. So I don't think we'll have any batting changes. So Blixt from left to right as we are trying to write it all down. So Connor goes from left to right. To left field goes Tiemann.
So 3-1 the lead. Still nobody out here in the bottom half of the second inning. And see, I haven't got the name that's going to the mound here is Drew Appleman. So he'll come in from right field, blitzed over to right field and into left field. It appears as it's going to be Tiemann. So the corners of the outfield are just going to rotate and keep this thing going.
So Appleman in there. Got to put him, move all these around. Got to have that defensive alignment in there, Jerry.
I've got a little chart I need to bring you that I've made where instead of erasing and changing it, you just write it below the 1, and that way you can see the changes that have been made.
You know, another thing that would probably work really good is like a two-sided dry erase board where you could get...
Two-sided works good, and also I use cardstock.
There you go. So here we are in the bottom of the second. The pitching change, and Appleman comes in, 3-1 score. So Tiemann going to head out to left field. Lion in center. Blixt at first.
Probably have been a good idea if we'd have taken a break there, because when we're not talking and that music's coming over the thing, YouTube software is trying to find that. Just be aware.
And that changes a lot now because we have hit the 1,000 subscriber mark.
We have.
So
but I also had a family video that they took off because it was of Tanner standing on a stool naked dancing. They removed it from YouTube, by the way.
You never know what day of the week they may want to take something off. So 1 ball, no strike count. We're back underway here, back to the top of the order. And Cheney, who led off the game before Nevada with a single, stole a base, and scored a run in the first. This one's fouled straight back. Be a 1 ball, 1 strike count. in the bottom of the second. So a 3-1 contest in the bottom of inning number 2.
Overcast day, very, very cool, not much wind.
Not what you expect for a May 11th day. I should know it's May 11th. It is my daughter's 5th birthday. So Collins Beth is back at home celebrating her 5th birthday, and saw a Facebook post. She's been spoiled mightily today by your wife, Jerry.
They had a fun time.
They did, and that one's just a little bit out for a ball. So 2-ball, 2-strike count. Here in the bottom of the second, runners at second and third.
I was downstairs working on some baseball stuff for today, and I got a text from Brenda saying, hey, is it all right if Collins comes down? She wants to check on you.
That one's upstairs. Collins always needs to see her Jerry. I know that much. Ever since that girl was little, and you have that. You don't have the big beard right now.
It'll get back.
It'll get back when he has that long beard. Collins would just yank on it. And I think that was probably, that one's right up the middle. Appleman gets his glove on it, but it's going to score a run for Nevada. So an infield single.
That is so difficult there. It's probably going to score 2 runs if he doesn't get his hand on it. But some of the times that ball by the pitcher is tipped, it goes right to an infielder, and they're able to throw it over. Not fortunate enough for that on that particular play.
So makes it a 4-1 contest, and it's now first and third with nobody out. So first and third, first pitch ball. There's the lefty Sanderson, who has been pitching, could really help himself out right here. Off and running, Miller throws down, they cut across, quick throw to third, and that one is going to go, and then nobody covering at third. Runner over to third, makes it 5-1. And that's where those big innings come from, is almost mental mistakes right there. You cut across, you're Ferguson there, you cut across. I know what you want to do. You want to make a play over there at third. However, now you have a runner at third, a run in, and still nobody out.
Well, and that's an unusual throw over there when he cuts it off short, and I'm sure that they practiced that, but he still bounced it to him. The third baseman tried to become a catcher and get down to just block it, but it just doesn't always bounce to where you get that block.
That one's a low for ball. 3 balls and a strike, they count. So Sanderson up there, he popped out to the shortstop, his first time up. That one was kind of between the mound and shortstop. And that is ball 4.
Well, that pitch right there looked pretty good to me.
So down to first goes Sanderson. Now first and third, nobody out. Back into the heart of the order is Pryor.
Guessing he won't be bunting here. This is your number 3 hitter who had a base hit his first time up.
And now at this point, you got nobody out. You got first and third. You want to try to get an inning. You want an even bigger inning. You already got a 3 spot on the board. Now you want to make it 6 or 7. You want to put a crooked number up there if you're Nevada. For the Cats, you want to maybe turn 2 here, off and running. And that was cut off over the catcher, or over the pitcher, I'm sorry. So a ball and a strike to count, 5-1 the score. Now runners at second and third. And Pryor up there. Far outside, 3 balls and a strike, they count. So 5-1 the score here in the bottom of the second. And this one is a little shot down the right field line and out of play. It'll be a 2-2 count. Thought it was 3-1, but it's 2-1, so now 2-2. Appleman working out of the stretch here. So here comes the 2-2, swung on and missed for the strikeout. Appleman took something off of it there and able to strike out prior. So RBI single his first time up by Marquardt. So Marquardt with the RBI single, look to add to it here. Upstairs for a ball. Ball, no strikes to count. So Appleman looks in for a sign. 1 ball count. And this is foul at the Nevada dugout. And it'll be a 1 ball, 1 strike count. So bottom of the second, Cats trying to avoid a gigantic inning by Nevada, keep themselves within arm's reach. Nevada trying to bust this one open here in the bottom of the second. And this one goes right back at Appleman. He's going to fire to first, got the out, a run scores. So second RBI of the game for Marquardt comes on a 1-3 fielder's choice.
At the plate, the center fielder number 11, Elijah Nadarata.
So Nadarata up there with 2 outs and 4 in here in the bottom of the second. Lit up for a ball. 1 ball, no strike count. So 6-1 score. Here's the 1-0. And it is swung on and missed for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count.
I'm not sure what he's throwing as a change of pace here. It doesn't look like a circle change, but he has got a nice full motion, and they're way out in front of it. Be curious to know.
This one's up and in for a ball. 2 balls and a strike, the count. 2 balls, 1 strike count. Here in the bottom of the second, Cats trying to limit the damage here on this inning. 4 through, that one is swung on and missed. And again, there's that off speed that has them really guessing. So 2-2 count, 2 outs, second inning. Here comes the 2-2. And this is fouled off on the right side and out of play. So we'll do the 2-2 again. So Deuce is wild on the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Second inning. Cats trail 6-1. So 4 runs across here in the bottom of the second. And here it comes. Down in the dirt for a ball, so we'll have a full count with a runner at third.
Nice job by the catcher there blocking the ball.
So 3-2 count, 2 outs. Need to get a scorebook's what I need to get, Jerry. Here we go. And there's a line shot to the third baseman. He's up with it. Fires to first for the out. So Morris to Vassar, and that ends the threat in the sixth. So he goes through the heart of the order, and the heart of the order not able to get any more runs up. So 4 runs across. We go to the third. Cats trail 6-1.
When you plan a party, the last thing you want to do is worry about cooking and cleaning up that mess. Call the experts at Time for Seasoning Catering. Stephanie will help you plan and execute a brilliant menu for your celebration. Take the worry out of your event and let Stephanie wow your guests with a great menu that they'll be talking about for weeks. Whether a small get-together of friends or a big wedding, Stephanie will take care of you. Visit them online at timeforseasoning.com. That's THYME for seasoning.com to get her booked today.
You know, we talked about the big innings and playing from behind, Jerry. Here's what happens when you play from behind, and we can look at a really good example right now, the Kansas City Royals. When you start losing a couple of games, you start pressing a little bit. Same situation at the high school level. They're all human. You start wanting to be the guy to get that big hit or, you know, get the ball rolling on something. And it's contagious. Losing streaks are contagious, so are winning streaks. And it's just like you want to get over that hump and see what you can do. And that's what the Cats are going to have to do going into districts. Even if they don't win this game, maybe if they get that win over Clinton on Saturday, that gets that ball rolling and it gets that mindset going, hey, let's go and, you know, and what a better way to do it if you can win it on Saturday than you're playing on Monday, you're playing your rival, and it doesn't matter when you play Pleasant Hill on anything. You throw everything out of the window.
Absolutely right.
So 2 for Nevada in the first, 4 in the second. They lead at 6-1, and we go to the top of inning number 3. Upstairs for Tiemann. And this one is fouled up and out of play on the first base side. I always laugh, you know, the thing to do is to say heads up at a baseball game when it's fouled off. And the first thing that everybody does when you say heads up is they look up in the air. Well, it's probably not the one thing you want to do because it's going to hit you right in the head if you look up right at the right time.
I've changed my tune with that. It's look out.
Yeah.
Strike called, bottom part of the zone.
And that one is bounced up there for a ball. So 2-ball, 2-strike count. The lefty out there, one of their post players on the basketball team, Sanderson, had a good game against the Cats in the district tournament. This one is popped a mile high on the infield. First baseman highly over under it and records the out for out number 1. If Coach Langer's listening, he probably did not want to hear that. But, yeah, how odd is that? The last game we called was against Nevada in basketball, and here we are during baseball playing did I say Nevada or did I say Nevada?
You said Nevada. Okay. You're good.
Well, you know, us folk in Missouri, I always make fun of, I've made fun of us. I student taught at Ray Peck this last semester, and I taught world history. And, you know, us folk in Missouri, we tend to not pronounce things correctly. If you look at Nevada, it's Nevada. If you look at Versailles, we call it Versailles. We have Milan, but we call it Milan. So, you know, we struggle a little bit with pronunciation over here in Missouri, but nevertheless, it's still fun.
That or we're Missouri, we're Adrian, Pleasant Hill, Pleasant Hill. You know, we're sometimes lazy.
That could be it too. So that one stays out. So 2-ball, 2-strike count, 1 out. Lyon, the center fielder, up there trying to set the deck for the top, back to the top of the order. So 2-2 count. And outside for a ball, 3 balls, 2 strikes, the count. So Lyon working the count here, gets it to a full count. 3-ball, 2 strikes. And here's the swing and a miss strike. 3 Lyon down on strikes. And that brings us back to the top of the order and 2 outs. Connor Blixt up there for the Cats.
At the plate, the right fielder, number 7, Connor Blixt.
He led off the ball game with a single, stole a base, scored a run on the ground out by Corbin Hall. So the lone run of the Cats is in the form of their leadoff hitter, Connor Blixt. So 6-1 score, top of the third. Outside for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes to count. So 2 ball, no strike count. 3rd inning, 6-1 our score. Outside corner for a strike. Paints the black of the plate right there. Makes it a 2-1 count. 2 outs here in the 3rd. Downstairs for a ball, so 3-1 count for Blix. Blix has got some speed if he can get on. Put some pressure on the pitcher. Get Sanderson out of the windup. That one through there for a strike. 3 balls, 2 strikes. You know when a pitcher starts getting in that routine, he sent down 3 straight in the 2nd. He's sent down 2 in the 3rd here. You kind of want to break up that monotony of him out of the windup. And Blix going to line it into center field for a base hit. On the 3-2 pitch, twice he's got the 2-strike count, and he has done a great job of just finding a spot and putting it out there. Connor Blix 2 for 2 with a couple of base hits. He had a single to right.
Now batting the second baseman, number 16, Hunter Ferguson.
He had a single to right his first time up. Now another base hit here over on first. And that one goes to the backstop and up to second base. On the pass ball will be Blixed.
Wild pitch there. No chance for that catcher to get out and block something like that. Out wide in the dirt.
Was definitely, as Bob would have said on Major League, just a bit outside. That one's upstairs and out. 2. It's 2 balls, no strikes to count. Blix down at second base now. Trying to score the Cats' second run here. Connor was doing that thing. I don't know when you learned that, but I remember always doing it. You always, when you take your lead out there at second, you go straight backwards as you're going, because then it looks like you're not as far away from the base as you are, and then you start pulling forward towards the end of your lead. You get that secondary lead. This is a little bit outside, swung on and missed by Ferguson, and a 2-strike count. Hunter struck out looking his first time up. 2 ball, 2-strike count with 2 outs. Blix down at second. Cats trail 6-1 in the top of inning number 3. Outside. Gonna be a ball. And we're back to a full count here with Ferguson. So 3 ball, 2-strike count. Top of inning number 3. Cats trail 6-1. And a swing and a miss struck him out. And that'll be the 3rd out. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. Cats trail 6-1.
When it comes to fast service and reasonable prices, Young's Auto Repair is the place. Whether it is a standard oil change, new brakes, or something major, William and Michelle with Young's Auto Repair will make sure you are back on the road quickly with a little change left in your pocket. Don't break the bank when it comes to your vehicle needs. Instead, come to the shop that keeps the cost in check and you rolling back down the highways. Young's Auto Repair, right across the street from Young's Tire and Wheel Center on South Commercial.
All right, welcome back. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. Appleman back out there. After coming in the bottom of the 2nd, he will try to continue on. Cats trail at 6-1 in the bottom of the 3rd. And, talking about, Jerry, you weren't in here, but I was talking about the first annual. I know how much you love to say first annual, but the first annual, I told Mike Johnson this too, so he'll get a kick out of this. As we talk about it. The first annual truck show out at the Red Barn Ranch. Mike and Dave's first annual summer bash. It's going to be a truck, car, motorcycle show, live music. All the money they raise for this, they're going to donate to the Booster Club for the 2 new Big Blues that they're going to wrap in this beautiful, deep blue that I can't wait to see.
It'll be awesome.
And they're going to be called, they're really going to be Big Blues. They're really going to be blue from now. I love that part of it. So we'll talk a little bit more about that as it goes on. And Jerry, I was telling him that one goes a little bit outside for a ball. I was telling him about some possibilities more towards the end of the summer for some ideas we have for an awesome fundraiser that we may get the ball rolling on now that student teaching is over and I can take a deep breath. That one is a monster shot down the left field line, picked off by Tiemann. Way to hustle over and grab that one. I didn't think he had a shot at that one at all, and he closes the gap and able to haul it in for the out.
Where did Officer Tiemann go? He's not down in his spot to see that great play.
I know, and I'm pretty sure they all looked over there to see where he was where he was at, but great effort right there. Just becomes a loud out.
There you go.
So
good hustle. He ranged a long way to get to that.
And this one's going to be grounded in the hole to short. Haul up with it, fires to Vassar, but air mails that one, and it will be an error on, that will be an error on Hall and a runner on first.
How big now is the catch of that fly ball?
Absolutely.
Of course, maybe they get the fielder's choice at second base there. You just don't know, but it's just such a game within the game. Inside for ball one.
And it's so quickly how stuff can turn in a baseball game, too, with one simple play. So one out here in the third. One ball count to Lane Wilson. This one is fouled up and over the top of us, out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike count. No, it was Seaver that hit it to Hall there after the B Shore a line shot down the right line, ranged over by Tiemann. Comes the 1-1. Snap throw by Miller down. Back.
Yeah, the cameraman didn't do a very good job right there.
Back is Seaver. Well, I told, we were talking, I was giving Jerry a hard time, but if you go watch one of his productions that he's really worked on some things, I would say we might see some new things coming this fall with football. That one is close at second, but just a little bit high. And in there with a stolen base is is Seaver. But he has 3 cameras that go on his broadcast, 4 on his broadcast of KCK, and he's got a way to put one out in center field, which is awesome as well. I mean, I told him the other day when he showed me one of the broadcasts, I was like, I feel like I'm watching a Major League broadcast. It comes from that center field camera angle that you see on baseball telecast. So a 6-1 score, 2-2 count, 1 out here in the third. Here comes the 2-2. And this is shot to third. Not able to come up with it is Morris there. And that is going to put runners at first and second now.
Not all bad news in that. If he throws it on over, or if he's not out over there, then the runner moves to third. We're first and third with 1 out. At least we now have a force out at each base with an opportunity to get the double play and get out of this inning without any damage.
And we say that, and here comes the number 9 hitter who has the RBI double to his credit in the second. 6-1 score, 1 out here in the third. Vassar steps back, going to have to try to get there, and does not. And it will be another error on the Cats. So really limited damage. Appleman pitching well, but the errors. Getting ground balls, and it's been the errors. 3 straight errors really for the Cats there, and they got the bases loaded, and that's when you give free outs. That's when these big innings can happen. So you hope that Cheney is not able to open this one wide open with a gapper somewhere. Like to be able to roll 2 here if you're the Cats. 6-1 score here in the bottom of the third. Upstairs and in for a ball. 2-0 count. And this is one of those tricky pitches. If you're Appleman, you don't want to groove one right here, but you also don't want to go 3-0 with the bases loaded. So here's the 2-0, and this is a line shot. Foul down the third baseline. I thought that one might have went right over the bag, but they call it foul, and we'll do the 2-1. So right idea down the line, and that would have emptied the bases right there. So 6-1 score. Runners all around, Seaver, Wilson, and Ketterman. And outside corner, 4-ball, or strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strike count to Cheney.
That's pretty much an unhittable pitch right there. Needs to come right back there again.
I don't know if that'll be a strike next time.
You're right about the possibility of that.
So 2-2, and this is fouled off by Cheney again. It'll remain 2 balls, 2 strikes. So 2-ball, 2 strike count. 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Cats trail 6-1. Nevada trying to bust this one wide open. Cats trying to limit the damage here with just 1 out. Get a force at home and then maybe a ground out. You'd be in good shape. This one goes to second, to shortstop for 1. Not in time to turn 2, but to get a lead runner out there, and that makes it runners at first and third now with 2 outs and just 1 run in.
At the plate, the pitcher, number 28, Case Sanderson.
So here comes Sanderson to the plate, and he would like to help himself out here. If he could get a hit. 7-1 score. There for a strike to Sanderson. So 1 strike count to him.
Good crowd on hand tonight for the cool weather and the trip about an hour away for the Harrisonville spectators.
So 1 strike count. Here's the runner, and this one is a moonshot to right center field and gone. Sanderson turns on one, makes it a 10-1 game. That was what we call, Jerry, a bomb. He turned on that one, and you knew it had a chance in that gap there, and it clears the fence for a 3-run home run. I'm a little biased, but lefties have such pretty swings, and that was a great swing. Kind of the way he just turned on that little Alex Gordon-esque little spin on that. Makes it a 10-1 score now here in the bottom of the third, and that brings us to Pryor. Through there for a strike. 1 strike count to Pryor. 10-1 our score now here with 2 outs in the bottom of inning number 3. Goes right back to Appleman. Fires to first for the out. But those errors come back to bite him. And 4 more come across, and it's 10-1 after 3. It's hard to find someone reliable to work on your small engines. Not anymore. Nathan and the crew at Land & Sand are your stop from lawnmowers, personal watercraft, all the way to Can-Ams and razors. From tune-ups to race builds, they will make sure your toy is ready to play with the big boys. Call them at 816-738-1455 and set up an appointment today. All right, welcome back. We go to inning number 4. Cats have some work to do to get back in this one. They down 10-1 after 4. And it looks like we have a new pitcher on the mound. Lane Wilson goes to the pitcher's mound.
Leading off in the top of the 4th for the Wildcats, the shortstop number 10, Corbin Hall.
So Lane Wilson on the mound now. And it looks like, did Sanderson go over to first base?
It's a right-hander at first.
So that is not.
There's a lefty in center field, but I don't think that's him.
Trying to go through the process here. It says 18. Did I miss an 18 on? Oh, that is Hiley still at first. So this is a line shot into the gap off of the wall. Hall almost missed first base, almost missed a homer by about 6 feet, and able to go into second base with a double. See if that'll get the Cats going here in the 4th.
My data.
Stepping in the catcher number 8, Karsten Miller.
It's back.
Okay, we're good. Try to give you guys a little bit of some cool sneak preview stuff we got if Jerry ended up getting that email I had sent him, or the message I had sent him. Down the third base line, picked up, fired to first. Not in time. Miller, the catcher, able to beat it out. And it'll be first and third with nobody out here, back in the top of the 4th. So an infield single by Miller.
That was a nice job of thinking, hey, I got to get going. I might be able to turn this into a hit. And he turned it into an infield hit on a ball that might have kicked foul if the third baseman had just given it one more shot.
You know, great job there by Miller to get down the line, the catcher, and, you know, be used to hearing that name. I'd say we're going to hear his name a lot this fall, being one of the linebackers or maybe even a defensive lineman next year for the Cats in football. And swung on and missed by Appleman. He could help himself out here if he would be able to get in there. So trying to send Jerry some information. Wanted to let you guys see it. A run is home and runner up on the passed ball. So in is Hall, makes it 10-2. And up to second base is Aaron Brines, the courtesy runner for Miller.
I'm going to guess because you're trying to send me video that we're not going to have enough internet to get it here in time.
One's downstairs, but strike one.
Didn't mean to on the swing, but he just could not hold up.
So ball and 2 strikes to count. 10-2 our score here in the bottom of the 4th. And low for a ball.
Top of the 4th.
Top of the 4th. Did I say bottom?
You did.
Yeah,
but that's okay.
You know.
Top and bottom, it's tough because on Thursday you go to one site and then on Saturday you go to the other. So
a little number out in front of the plate. Going to move the runner over, and almost a bad throw there, but gets the runner to third with 2.
That was a nice job by the first baseman because the throw was made up the line almost into the runner, and he did a good job of getting his hand out of the way so the ball doesn't get away or get knocked away.
10-2 the score here in the 4th. Curveball outside for a ball. So 10-2 the score, 4th inning. 1 ball count. This one's downstairs for ball 2. So 10-2 score. Vassar showing butt. Going to pull back. Through there for a strike. So 2-1 count. Strike 2 called. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. So 2 ball, 2 strike count, 1 out here in the 4th. And that was a line shot by Vassar up the middle. Going to be an RBI single. It makes it a 10-3 contest here in the 4th. So the Cats with 2.
Now batting the third baseman, number 21, Jackson Morris.
So brings up Morris after the RBI single by Vassar. Through there for a strike. So 10-3 our score here in top of the 4th. One's bounced. Vassar thought about it and gonna hold off. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Wilson on the mound. Little number in front of the plate, foul. It'll be a 1 ball, 2 strike count with 1 out here in the 4th. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count in the 4th. Top of the 4th, runner at first, 1 out. Rounder to second, bobbled by the second baseman, but able to get it to the shortstop for the force out. That'll be 2 outs here in the inning. It's 10-3. Jake Tiemann now.
Now batting for the Wildcats, the left fielder, number 3, Jake Tiemann.
Jake Tiemann up there for the Cats. There for a strike. One strike, 2 outs here in the 4th. Morris down at first. Curve out, stays out. Or 1 ball, 1 strike count. Didn't quite get enough of the plate on that one. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Toss over to first. Back there is Morris. So 1 ball, 1 strike count with 2 outs here in the 4th. Through there for a strike. So 1 ball, 2 strike count. So 1-2. Line shot at the second baseman and right through the second baseman. First to third goes Morris, and he is in there, and up to second goes Tiemann. They're safely for the Cats. So the Cats making a little noise here in the 4th. Runners at second and third. Brings us to the center fielder, Lyon, trying to get back to the top of the plate with 2 outs. And if you're the Cats here, you get a base hit here. All of a sudden, it's a 10-5 contest. So So if you're Nevada, you want to try to get out of here without any more damage done and not let the Cats back in this one. Top of 4. 10-3 score. Runners at second and third for the Cats. Lying at the plate. And strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 outs. So here we are in the 4th. And there's a shot into the outfield for a base hit. 1 run is in. 2nd run coming around. And just like that, 4 runs in the 4th for the Cats. Cut it to 10-5. And back to the top of the order we go. RBI single for Lyon there. A 2 RBI single. And Connor Blixt up there. He's 2 for 2. 10-5 score. Curve in there for a strike. 1 strike count to Connor. Lyon leads off from first. Top of the 4th, Cats come alive. Trail 10-5. And there's a line shot down the right field line. Foul. And a 2-strike count. Connor trying to wake up that dugout over there of Wildcats. We got a 2-strike count. 2 outs here in the 4th. So 10-5 score. And this one is blocked. This is in the dirt. Good job by the catcher to get in front of that one and not keep it from going to the backstop. And now runner down at second. So Cats have done a good job now. You're looking at possibly making a 10-6 game with another base hit here. Blick's 2-strike count. Fouls this one off. And Connor's done a great job of really working the count. And when he gets to that 2-strike count, getting those timely base hits, Jerry. Jerry's working on a project for me right now, so you can't quite hear Jerry. So 1 ball, 2-strike count, 2 outs. And there's a little hopper up the middle. Throw to first is just in time. Beats Blix by half step. We go to the bottom of the 4th, 10-5. Our score will be back.
One of Harrisonville's oldest and its most reliable realtors, American Heritage Realtors. With almost 40 years of experience, they will take all the stress out of buying and selling a home. Add in being the #1 seller of properties on Zillow, and American Heritage should be the only call you make when you're ready to buy or sell your home. Experience, reliability, and results. That's American Heritage Realtors next to Sonic on South Commercial Street.
All right, welcome back inside. I always want to say inside a while. New pitcher for the Cats as we go to action. Tucker Vassar out there to pitch for the Cats here in the bottom of the 4th. So the Cats get 4 runs in the top of inning number 4 to cut the lead to 10-5. So a 10-5 score here in the 4th. And Nevada coming to the plate. Marquardt going to lead it off. So 4-5-6 for Nevada.
This is where after you get a few runs like we just got to bring it within 5 is you need not necessarily a 3 up 3 down inning, but you need to hold them to no score here or little score here, so you give yourself a chance to come back with another inning to get this thing closer.
So it's a 10-5 score here in the fourth. Passer out there on the mound. 1 strike count. Downstairs for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Jerry is exactly right. When you get those 4 runs now, you don't want to go and give back 3 or 4 here in the fourth, because then you run into that trouble and getting back in the same situation. 2 ball and a strike. So 2 ball, 2 strike count now after a little number. So 4th inning, 2 ball, 2 strike count. Nevada looking to try to get some runs here. A little bit low and outside, ball 3. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, the count to Marquardt. So Marquardt has 2. He had a fielder's choice RBI, and he had an RBI back in the first as well. And this one is going to be a shot to the shortstop, high hop, but the throw over, able to get him in a good scoop over there at first base by Appleman. On the short hop by Hall.
At the plate, the left fielder, number 11, Elijah Nadarata.
So Nadarata up there now for Nevada. He's grounded out and had an RBI single in the ball game as well. Outside ball 1. So 1 ball, no strike count, 1 out. Downstairs, 4 ball, 2 balls, no strike count now. And that one's going to get Nadarata, but I guess they did not say it hit him. I thought that nicked him there on the elbow, but 3-0 count. There goes the 3-0 to Nadarata. Right through there for strike 1. 3 balls and 1 strike the count. So 3-1 count and a swing through that off-speed delivery, and 3 balls, 2 strikes the count. So Vassar trying to come back and ring up Nadarata. Here comes the 3-2. And downstairs for ball 4. And Nadarata down to first base. Brings up B. Shore.
Now batting the right fielder, number 4, Cade B. Shore.
B. Shore gave one a ride back in inning number 2. And it was a great play by Tiemann over in the corner. So 10-5 score. Nadarata at first, at the plate B. Shore. Outside for strike. Outside corner. So 1 strike. 10-5 the score. Pitch from Vassar to B. Shore. It's fouled back and out of play. Be a 2 strike count now to B. Shore. 1 out here in the fourth. 10-5 the score. Outside for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strike count. One ball, 2 strike count, 1 out. Throw over to first, and not in time. Line us back up here. Bottom of the 4th inning. 10-5 the score. And gets away. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Thought he might have went around there. I heard a holler from the dugout to appeal. So 1 out, 2 ball, 2 strike count. There is a shot to the shortstop Hall. He fires to first. A little bit high, but able to stay on the bag. Appleman for out number 2. So Beshore is out 6-3. Brings us to Seaver. 1 for 2. Reached on an error and an infield single in the first. So 10-5, the score. Runner out at second. Vassar throws down to second. Nadarata able to get back. In the dirt. Miller up with it though. 1 ball, no strike count, 2 outs. 4th inning, bottom of inning number 4, 10-5. Cats trail. Got 4 back in the top of the 4th. So 10-5 score. 2 ball, no strike count, 2 outs in the 4th. That one is in the dirt. Swung on. Fouled off. 4th inning here in this one. 10-5 score. Cats got 4 back in the top, trying to keep it a 5-run game going to the 5th. Veda would like to get a couple of here. Extend that lead back out. So a 3-1 count with 2 outs. You don't want to go with a 2-out walk here. Put 2 on.
Inside the train testing facility, our heating and cooling products go through endless torture tests. We drop them, slam them against a wall, shake them, and then expect them to run without an extra decibel in our anechoic sound chamber. We test so it runs.
On Heating and Cooling is your local Train dealer. They've been serving Harrisonville and the surrounding communities for over 50 years. If you need service, repair, or replacement of your heat pump, furnace, air conditioner, or indoor air quality equipment, give Hahn a call at 816-380-5659, just like the Wildcats.
It's hard to stop a train.
covered that all up.
Start that again.
Okay.
The audio was just now here. My bad.
It's all good. So we had an audio issue there as we went to a break. So we are at the bottom of the fifth. It is 11-5. I'll get to that in just a minute. First pitch strike by Vassar. We were showing you in the break the new gym floor. There was a vent that had blown off. They had a water damage. Thought they were going to have to replace the entire floor. They were able to match up the wood. There's a line shot in the left field for a base hit for Ketterman. And that will bring us to the top of the order again for Nevada. So it is 11-5. Nevada would like to put 4 on the board right here and make this a 5-inning affair. Cats do not want that to happen. They would like to get a couple more opportunities. So we go back to that new gym floor. They're able to get that done with the insurance money, be able to repaint, and didn't have to use any bond money. You know, that new bond had just passed, but didn't have to do any of that, and they were able to get this new gym floor done, which is awesome. The insurance was able to take care of that. Mike Johnson able to work some magic to make sure that all got done, and it just looks magnificent. Excited to see the guys play on that next year. You got that great contrast between the three-point line and inside the lane. And then we got a runner at first here with a 1-0 count. And that one's in there through our strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. The other thing we were talking about before the break, Jerry, is Harrisonville's play anybody, anytime, anywhere in football. So originally before COVID hit, get to this pitch first here. 1-1 count. And through there for a strike, ball and 2 strikes. We were supposed to play Trinity Catholic last year. That game got canceled. We ended up playing St. Joe Lafayette first week of the season. And then so they needed a game for their first game this year because that series with Trinity Catholic was canceled. This one's inside for a ball. So Coach Maxwell, I say Coach Maxwell, athletic director Maxwell was the coach, puts out a thing online about, hey, we're looking for a game. Team calls, says we'd like to play you. This team from New Jersey. So Harrisonville's first game this fall is going to be against Wayne Hills, New Jersey, which is a suburb of downtown New York City pretty much. And there's a little loft to the second baseman, caught for the out. That'll be out number 1 in this one. So
I wonder if we could get Coach Maxwell to come in and talk any about that.
Yeah, it'd be great to kind of talk to him about that, how that all came about. So Wayne Hills, New Jersey, starting several years ago, they decided to travel around and play somebody from different areas, and they decided to do that this year against Harrisonville. So they're going to fly in on a Wednesday, I believe, come to Kansas City, fly in, and then they are going to come down, and on a Thursday night, we are going to play the JV game on a Thursday night. And then on Friday, we will have Friday Night Lights, and we will play their varsity. They're 10-time champion in New Jersey. One of their alums is Greg Olson, who played for the Carolina Panthers and just recently retired. So they have definitely some good football acumen there and some good football playing of winning 10 state titles. So those 2 teams will put 15 state titles on the line, win their first game. So there'll be 15 former state champion teams between the 2 schools when they play at the end of August, which would be exciting for us. You know, I was kind of hoping that we were playing in New Jersey and Gary was going to have to drive us up there, Jerry.
That would have been all right. I think Coach Maxwell may come in and visit with us at the break.
Oh, okay, there we go. I didn't realize where did you see Coach Mack? I didn't even know he was here.
He's hiding behind the tree.
So that would be great to get him in here and chat with him. It's a 2 ball, 2 strike count, 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Runner on first, an 11-5 contest. And this one is tattooed into right center field, and that's going to get all the way to the wall. Runner around second, on his way to third, and in with the double brings up Pryor. So that was Sanderson. And he, of the home run earlier, he had a 3-run bomb, and he puts that one off of the fence there as well. Makes it 11-5. And Pryor at the plate. Nevada just needs 4 runs here in this inning to end it. Cats are trying to extend the game, get it to the 6th. See what happens. I'll tell you, it's been a whirlwind. Had my student teaching, got that done. And then, now it's time you got to try to find a teaching job, Jerry. So working on that as well. And then not to mention, I've got a 6-year-old playing flag football. He has practice on Monday and Wednesday nights. And then I have a freshman in high school, plays for William Crispin JV, and they had a game last night as well at 4 that I tried to get to because I haven't been able to get to any of his games. That is a shot into right field. 1 run is in. 2nd run is around and in. Makes it a 13-5 contest. And Pryor in at first base with the 2-run single. And it's a 13-5 score here in the 5th. So 1 out.
At the plate for the Tigers, the designated hitter number 22, Logan Marquardt.
So that brings up Marquardt. He's got a couple of RBI hits here in the game. It's a 13-5 contest. So it has been a busy week. Yesterday I headed up to Independence, watched my son play as long as I could, then had to get back at 6 o'clock for practice. And after I get back from practice, I get a text from my oldest son, Chase, and he sends me a video. He almost hit a home run in this JV game. Runner down to 2nd. So runner at 2nd now with 1 out. And then today, had stuff going on earlier today, and then I get hold of you. We head down here. We've got this today. Got stuff going on tomorrow. It's a never-ending cycle here. So 13-5 the score. And that one's going to get across for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count, 1 out. Here in the 5th, 13-5 our score. Winning run at the plate for Nevada. Stays outside. 2 balls and a strike.
It's interesting how people have a complaint about that pitch there. The catcher didn't move hardly at all, but he was set up outside the plate, just trying to get the batter enticed to miss something way out or maybe get a called 3rd strike.
So a 2-1 count, 1 out in the 5th. Nevada leads at 13-5. And that one's upstairs, down to 3rd. Quick tag by the 3rd baseman, not quite in time by Morris, but a great slap tag by him to try to get that out. So now a runner down at 3rd and a 3-1 count.
Pretty good job by the catcher there to throw. The batter is not short. Go ahead.
So it's a Morris to 1st. Going to get the run home, makes it 14-5. And that brings us back to Nadarata. And it's a 9-run game. Nadarata, he'd like to keep this rolling. He represents the winning run with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. So working out of the stretch. Vassar. This one's low and away. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to count, 2 outs.
Vassar has done a nice job. He's worked a little more of the inside of the plate to the outside of the plate than the earlier pitchers did. Gosh, I thought he'd get a strike call on that one.
So a little bit down, 4 ball, 2 balls, no strikes to count. Mixed bag on what's going to happen there. That one was right about the same spot. Called a strike, 2 balls and a strike, the count. So 2 balls, a strike, 2 outs. And through there for a strike, 2 on the inside part of the plate. So 14-5 our score here in the 5th. Nadarada at the plate, 2-2 count. Outside for ball 3, 3 balls, 2 strikes the count. So 3-2 count on Elijah Nadarada, the number 5 hitter. This one is a line shot up the middle. Second baseman over, going to fire to first, not in time to get the speedy Nadarada. And the winning run on for Nevada here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Coach Maxwell joins us in the booth. You know, even though you're just the athletic director now, you're always going to be Coach Maxwell. You realize that, right?
Fair enough.
So we were just kind of discussing interesting scenario you guys got coming up this fall, playing Wayne Hills, New Jersey. And tell us a little bit after that strike call. Tell us a little bit about how that came about.
Well, it's obviously a unique opportunity. You know, we were supposed to play Trinity Catholic out of St. Louis. We weren't able to play them this year due to COVID, and they couldn't leave St. Louis County. So we agreed we would go ahead and play again this upcoming fall. And
that was third out, so we're going to continue to talk to Coach Maxwell here as we go to the 6th. Go ahead.
So we had planned on they were planning on coming over that first week. Well, it's probably been 2-3 months now, I guess, but I got a call saying that they were shutting their doors down to their athletic director's surprise at the end of this school year. So obviously without school, they can't play football. So we were just kind of out of luck there. And being in the middle of a 2-year cycle, it was going to be difficult. I'm not going to say impossible, but it was going to be awful difficult to try to find somebody in the state. So, you know, I started looking at the surrounding states. Well, Kansas is behind us a week, and being so week 1, it just doesn't help us. Looked at some of the others, but couldn't find anything, and you know, so started looking more nationally. Just kind of a pipe dream, I thought, really. Did get an email from a private school, very rich in tradition, and out of Nashville, asking if we would be willing to play, and you know, that's tough. It's an 8-hour drive. You know, what a great experience, but you know, at the same time, that's not something you just want to pick up and do. I mean, not every program gets to do that, and we've been pretty fortunate to get to travel. Not said we had to travel several years just because we couldn't really find anybody locally that did want to play us. But so while we were kind of talking through some details, I actually had another school from Texas reach out to me about an hour north of Dallas, and unbelievable facilities, and they needed us to come to them.
Wouldn't have been McKinney, would it?
No, it was. You would ask that. I'm drawing a blank right now, but it was a new school district. This is their first year in existence. You know, they went 3-7 this year, but looking at their schedule, those 7, about 5 out of those 7 losses wasn't anything to be, you know, to hang your heads about. Just knowing how good the football is down there, but so you know. They just built a brand new $54 million stadium that seats 12,000 people. And, you know, I thought, you know what, if they'll pay for us to come down there, we're going to go for it. You know, that's just not something you get to do every day.
That one's going to fall in the triangle there for a base hit for Appleman, and the Cats had the leadoff runner on in the 6th.
Little to my surprise, though, I guess they said they couldn't afford to pay for us to come down there. So
well, they got to pay for a $54 million
yeah
stadium.
So with 12,000 people, I thought you guys could probably afford to pay for a couple rooms for us and maybe a meal or two. But you know, that's okay. Everything works out. So they backed down, and it wasn't probably 24 hours later I get a call from the athletic director the head football coach actually initially in Wayne Hills from New Jersey, and I had to I probably stuttered a little bit, and I said, "You realize we're in Missouri, right? We're not even in the same time zone." And he was like, "Yeah." He's like, "This is just something that we've got to be able to do the last 10 years or so. They're surrounded by a ton of private schools, and their state association allows them to openly recruit. So they were just losing a ton of kids, not just for football, but I mean other athletics and academics as well, I think. So he said about 10 years ago there was a group of parents whose kids went to that public school setting, and they just decided they were going to come up with some plans to try to keep some of those kids at the public school. And I don't know what it was for the other sports, but for football, they were once a year they were going to take off and travel outside of the state.
There's a rip by Vassar, deep to center, caught and back in quickly as Appleman heads back to first.
So we once we kind of talked a little bit, and I realized that he was serious, we kind of started working through some of the details, and he said they will. I was able to get him hooked up with some hotels. I mean, we're not funding anything other. We're going to send our buses up, I think, to pick them up at the airport.
Which would be really cool. I mean, I think it's just going to be a great situation for their kids. I mean, I was kind of chuckling when I found out. I texted you that day, and I was like, "Hey, random question here." You're like, "Well, it's confirmed." And I was doing my student teaching at Ray Peck, so me and some of the Ray Peck teachers were talking. They're like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah." So we started talking, and I go, "What are these kids going to think?" So they're 20 minutes outside of New York City. So I said, they're going to come to Kansas City, which, you can go through Kansas City. That's okay. It's not a very big city, but It's a big city. And I said, they're going to get south on 49. They're going to pass Belton, and they're going to be like, where are we going?
Yeah.
So, but it'll be interesting to see them. And, there will probably be some good friendships made between the two schools, because I think there's going to be a lot of interaction probably between the schools during that time, that'll be something they'll all remember.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think they're ecstatic about coming to Kansas City area and to Harrisonville, and sorry about that.
Somebody's probably telling them, "Hey, I'm listening to you."
Get it out of my pocket. He said they're going to start fundraising. He said, like, in the past 10 years or so, that this is what they've done. So he said they'll charge maybe $100, $150, depending on where they go, per family, per kid. But other than that, the community just comes together, and the businesses are awesome about supporting this. And I said, are you driving? And he was like, no, we'll fly. I said, well, you charter a plane? He said, no, we'll actually we'll just try to get on one plane. If we can't, we'll fly out on two. So I said, all right, well, we'd love to have you. So
it is gonna be fun. I like to hear that story, kind of how it came together, because I knew, a lot of people asked me, and without even talking to you, they're like, why are you playing? I go, well, Trinity Catholic couldn't play. I did not know that they were closing their doors, which was odd. But I said, they probably didn't want to play again this year, which we're in the middle of a 2-year cycle. I said, it's going to be hard to find somebody to play. And I said, I think Coach put it out there, on some feelers to some websites and said, hey, we're looking for a game type of deal. And it kind of came about that way. So it's kind of funny how it all came together. I did hear the Texas rumor, because that was another one I heard, that we might go to Texas. I was like, man, I kind of wanted to take Florida Keys down,
Yeah, it would have been pretty awesome, I will say. But we're looking forward to this one, too. It'll be a great experience for those kids that get to travel down here. He said they'll bring about 55. And obviously, one way they sell that is they'll go visit a local college or two. They're actually going to fly in on Wednesday, Wednesday evening, Thursday during the day. Well, obviously while we're in school, they'll go visit a college, or they'll go do something cultural, the Negro League Hall of Fame, or they may see if they can get a tour of Arrowhead Stadium or Kauffman Stadium. Some of those things that those kids may never get the opportunity to experience again.
Oh, absolutely.
So then they'll come down Thursday afternoon, play a JV game. So that's huge too, because it'll be about 5 o'clock, I think.
Jerry's scheduling, because we'd already talked about this, that this situation, that'll be a great time to get our JV kids on 4Ts, as well as that way, that live stream that for all the parents that can't go. And speaking of all this that's going on, we have one of our seniors, Brian Garlock, up there, as he's up there for the first time, fouls that one in front of the plate. Want to give him a shout out. He went through Crass Career Center, and awesome. He's graduating with honors there, and he's going to start as a foreman for a construction company right out of high school.
Wow.
Which is amazing. Shows you what Cass Career Center can do as well. So, his dad, Nathan, owns Land and Sand Power Sports, is one of our great sponsors as well. But glad to see that he's going to be moving on right after high school and going right into, the profession of construction. So that's awesome as well.
That's pretty impressive.
So that's going to be fun for us because we'll be able to do a JV game. We haven't done a JV game before, but obviously that'll be fun. And then they'll be there Thursday, and then Friday they probably do something during the day, and then
they'll go visit another college, or they'll go do something else. Downtown Kansas City again, just to give them that experience. And
ball into left field. Looks like the Cats are going to score another run here and cut it to 8 at 14-6. So you've got that on the plate. You have a brand new basketball court in there that we just showed a picture of earlier. Of course, things are always moving and shaking in Harrisonville, so it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
And then you also have, I believe they're replacing the track this summer
soon. We are.
I knew that was happening. So a lot of stuff going on in the athletics department.
It's an exciting time.
It's always an exciting time in Harrisonville. You never know what's going to happen. One of the things I will say is the broadcast, being doing this since 2007, you talk about the travel. I've been with you on a lot of that. I've been to Augusta, Kansas. I've been to Rogers, Arkansas. I've been to Hazelwood West in St. Louis. I've been to Hannibal, I feel like 19 times. Twice in 2 days, I believe we had to do 1 year. So we've had all these different things. We've had all these great trips. Webb City several times, Maryville. So that's one of the things that I've always enjoyed. And that's a lot to do with a couple things. The tradition Harrisonville has of a lot of schools not want to play Harrisonville. So,
sure.
But what is also it's caused is it caused Harrisonville to play a lot of powers in Missouri because nobody wants to play them either. So there was a lot of first game Webb Cities and first game Kearneys and first game, or second game Maryvilles because those schools all had the same problem Harrisonville does is, the smaller school doesn't want to get thumped. The bigger school doesn't want to get beat.
Exactly.
So you run into those situations. I think a lot of people thought Winnetonka was going to come down and have something to say about it last year. So Garlock works a walk there, going to be on, and it's a 14-6 score. And that brings us to Lyon. But that's what's been really awesome to see over the years is all of that, is who's Harrisonville's played. They've never been afraid to play. We talked about Winnetonka last year, and, that was a once-in-a-lifetime game that you're going to see a kid 8 touchdowns, almost 400 yards. And we're not talking about running some touchdowns against some slouches.
No.
And that was honestly the first time I heard about the Wayne Hills thing. I thought maybe ESPN had contacted you and was like, they had maybe a star player, and then we've got Jace Reynolds that, hey, they wanted to showcase this nationally
because they do that early in the season.
Yeah. So I was like, well, maybe that's where it is. And of course, I think Jace's senior year is going to be one to be said, and I think Coach Meeks is probably excited. I give him a hard time all the time. I always say, how are you going to enjoy 2 Reynolds in the backfield as his 8th grade brother is going to be pretty special, I believe, as well.
He is. He's had a tremendous spring in track this year. And
a kid that's in 8th grade running 11.23 in the 100 is just
impressive.
Flat out.
Pretty impressive.
Flat out going with it. So his dad was giving him a hard time, though. I saw him Saturday at one of the kids' graduation parties. We were over at Kennedy Atkins' graduation party. His dad said, well, he goes, here's the thing. He goes, Nate, on that 100 is so fast. He goes, but for some reason, Jace in the 40 has him by 2 steps every time.
Yep.
And Jace is just so quick and fun. It's fun to watch them as well. And big strike 3 called by Lyon, so 1 run is in. It makes it 14-6 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. We're joined here in the booth as we've got baseball going on. We're talking about some of the things going on with Harrisonville Athletics with Athletics Director Brent Maxwell. And anything else right now in the works that maybe, or that I don't even know?
No, I think I'm tired. It's been a crazy year, obviously.
Oh, it has.
Good things are still happening. Again, we found that game. Felt fortunate there. A brand new gym floor, essentially. and just how crazy how that happened. I mean, it was just a fluke that we had a big storm come through right after basketball season, fortunately. Blew one of the covers off of the outside vents and ended up causing some water damage there. So, it's not free, but technically it's free, I guess, with insurance. So we were able to come in and get it done, and it looks pretty sharp, I think. Today we actually unveiled it to the kids, and that was kind of the buzz around the high school today, was how different it looks, but how sharp it looks. And some good things going on with Caleb Verstrate qualifying for state golf yesterday.
Okay.
Shooting an 82, so that was awesome. And our boys tennis team was down in Bolivar today playing for district championship for the team, and then we have one individual that qualified last Friday. He qualified to go to sectionals this Friday.
And is district track this weekend, or was it?
It's coming up this Saturday.
So I was thoroughly impressed. The 4x2 boys 4x2 has been phenomenal, I believe, this year.
Yes.
And you got some speed out there, obviously.
We do. We've had a good year in boys and girls track, but
the 4x2 and it's funny. Spectrum Sports was at the Grandview deal, and I didn't notice this when I first watched Jace run the 4x2. And Spectrum Sports tweeted out, "Please tell me this dude totes the rock in the fall." So I had to show the top 15 running performances in a game, and I sent it to them, and they just put the looking eyes. And it was funny. I went back and listened. You can hear there's a shot to the shortstop Hall. He fires to first for the out, and we got one out here in the bottom of the sixth. But I laughed when I listened back to it because there's like 4 or 5 Grandview kids. You can hear them. Is that running back? Is that the running back? Is that the running? Is it the running back? So as he was coming around, and I mean he showed his speed right there. He blew doors off of everybody, and that was not no slouch event there at Grandview, because they're a great track. Yeah, there were some great teams there. So to see the 4x2 team do that, it was kind of funny, and listening to those kids go, "Yeah, is that the running back? Is that the running back?" So I'll be interested to see how they do this weekend.
The track situation, do you see that? Do you see Brutus changing back to the bigger meet on the weekend or Saturday? Or
I don't know yet. We would like to obviously build that up. Our track's just in pretty bad shape right now, and I think it was built in 2003, maybe whenever the new stadium was constructed. So we've had a couple resurfaces and stuff like that, but to come through and actually mill it down a little bit and put a whole new surface on there, we need that. So we're hoping, we had a meeting yesterday actually, and we're hoping within the next 2 to 3 weeks that they can come in and start doing all the tear off and milling of the asphalt down. And then unfortunately they're extremely busy right now, so it may be the 1st of August before they can actually come in and then lay the new layer of asphalt on there and the new surface and get it painted. But it'll be okay. It'll definitely be ready for week 1 football, but not that that's hugely important at that point, but it'll look nice.
Well, and I think putting the black track, I think if you guys are going back to black, I think
we are.
So that'll pop so much with what the colors that are on the field and stuff, as opposed to it ended up becoming teal.
Yeah,
blue.
yes.
With the fading over the years, ended up kind of being a silly look.
Yeah. But when it's brand new, the blue looks nice, but
after a while,
it fades so quickly. And we've talked to multiple companies, and I've talked to multiple schools that have, used blue tracks to see if they have any secrets, and they're like, nope, ours does the same thing. So, with that consideration of it fading pretty bad. And then, price too. It's quite a bit more expensive to pay for the custom color of blue. It doesn't seems crazy because you do have to do it more often. So, I know there's some concerns about the heat on a black track, but they actually said through studies it does get a little bit warmer, but it's not nearly as much as you would think that it is. So we're excited about that and see the new look there. And like I said, it's been a crazy year, but still some good things going on, and we're tired. And I think as much as we're ready to get school over, it's hard not to be a little bit excited about for next year as well.
Well, hopefully that going forward is that we get a chance to be back to normal this fall a lot more, cut down on some of the, having to separate by 6 foot. I mean, I know the high school, I'm sure it's been a nightmare at times. You probably spent more time contact tracing than you did athletic directing.
There was a while. There was a point in time that was true.
So
we've done a great job. Our kids really have done a pretty good job. After those first and that initial month or two, I mean, everything was just, everybody's just in shock, and it was different, and change is tough. But they really have done a pretty good job, and our staff have done a tremendous job, and our community's done a great job of continuing to support us. And fortunately, we were able to kind of take care of business and still get a lot of our games in. In all sports and all seasons. So we've been pretty fortunate there compared to a lot of the schools that surround us. So.
Well, Coach, I thank you for coming in. It's been fun to be able to talk about that. Baseball always gives you an opportunity a little bit more to be able to talk about that. Where basketball, you'd still be sitting here and probably only said 2 or 3 things.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's been fun that you've been able to do that. And I'll probably come and find you before. Are you going to be here for both?
No, I got to get back and check on the varsity girls soccer game here in a little bit.
So if I get a chance, I'll try to chat with you a little bit later. I got a question to ask you off the air.
Okay.
But if you're going to be heading out, I will try to catch you. I'll maybe put Jerry to work here in just a minute as we get ready for the top of the 7th inning. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after this.
There are a ton of choices for home appliances, but only one you need to know. That's Troby's Maytag Home Appliance Center in Harrisonville. Today, it's more important than ever to support small business. Troby's prides themselves on American-made appliances, competitive prices, and unmatched service, from installation to service calls if any issue may arrive. Troby's is your hometown appliance center.
Next time you're in the market for a home appliance, think Troby's first on Plaza Drive right behind Hawthorne Bank.
All right, back to action here. Sorry, we're getting a little excited. We were talking about athletic stuff, and we got baseball going on. We have a runner on first for the Cats here in the top of the 7th. They need 8 to stay in it here, and the first runner reached on an error. 1 out here in the top of the 7th. 2-1 the score. And Hall up there for the Cats. So it makes it a 3-ball, 1-strike count. Looks like Nadarata on the mound now for Nevada. Always fun, Jerry, to have those conversations, with your athletic director. Find out, kind of the behind-the-scenes stories. That's what makes baseball so unique when it comes to a broadcast. You can bring people in like that. You every once in a while you turn on the Royals broadcast and George Brett's up there and they're talking to him about something, or, they bring somebody in. And I just think that's going to be an awesome thing this fall with the two, with the teams. And coming to town, I think that'll be fun. It'll be exciting for the kids, for our community, and for those kids, many of them probably have never been to Kansas City. So
that's probably true. And then it's easy to catch up. We reached on an error. He just moved to second by the walk, and we're caught up.
So 14-6, top of the 7th. Cats have spread this to the 7th inning. It looked like in the bottom of the 4th it was 10-1. We're like, oh my goodness, is this going to be a 5-run or a 5-inning, 10-run game? And the Cats have fought and clawed, and that's a good sign heading into district play for the Cats. And there's a strike called, 1-ball, 2-strike count with 1 out. And that's something I want to probably ask Coach Hicks about after the game. He come up and chat with us about that. So that one is strike 3 and 2 outs. So 2 outs here in the 7th. Cats down to their final out. Brings up Appleman. It's a little bit low for a ball. 1-ball, no strike. The count, 2 outs in the 7th. 14-6 our score. So 14-6 here in the 7th. Upstairs for a ball. 2-ball, no strike count. 2 outs in the 7th. Nevada trying to shut the door on the Wildcats. Cats trying to make a comeback here in the 7th. Remember, Saturday starts districts soccer as well as baseball. We will not have the games on Saturday. A couple different scheduling. Jerry's going to be in Liberal, Kansas, doing KCK baseball. I will be doing a flag football game that morning. My son will be playing Braxton, and then after that, we will be headed to Bolivar for my niece Kara graduation party, and there's a walk, and the Cats have loaded them here in the 7th, trailing 14-6 with 2 outs. That brings up Vassar to the plate for the Cats. So all kinds of things going on here for 4Ts. So our plan is we got this game in, and we wanted to do this just in case something was to happen. If they weren't to win on Saturday, we would have gotten a baseball game in this spring. And hopefully they do win on Saturday. We got a good feeling they're got a good chance to win that Saturday. So we may have a couple of games next week. Soccer playing Center on Saturday. We felt supremely confident they were going to win that game, as Center, I think they beat Center 8-0 in about 15 minutes of play on a game earlier this year before half, as those games are ended in half. So 14-6 our score here in the 7th. 1-1 count. That one is in the dirt. Ball 2. So 14-6 the score. Top of the 7th. 2-ball, 1 strike count, 2 outs. And that one's downstairs. 4-ball, 3. 3 balls and a strike the count. So it's a 14-6 game, as Nadarata in danger of walking in a run here in the 7th, and the bases are already juiced Throws that one through there for strike two. So 3 ball, 2 strike count, 2 outs. Top of the 7th. Trying to finish this one off is Nadarata. Vassar trying to extend the ball game here for the Cats. Here's the 3-2, and there's a ground ball too short, cut off by the third baseman. He fires to first, and that'll do it. And Nevada going to win this one by a count of 14-6. We're going to take a timeout. We're going to be back with our postgame show here in just a few minutes.
You have many choices when you buy a used car. What do you want? A good deal? A quality vehicle? Outstanding service? At Holland's Auto Sales, you don't have to sacrifice for one of the others. You get all 3. The best part is Steve will be there for you because Holland Auto Sales has been Harrisonville's used car dealer for 36 years. So the next time you're in the market for a used car,
go where the Grammars go, Holland Auto Sales, and ask for Steve.
Competition between teammates makes for a stronger and better team. Lacey Dominick of Shelter Insurance and Cameron Chenoweth of American Family Insurance were both Wildcats on the field. Now they are competitors off the field. They know that you have many choices for insurance, so they're teaming up to offer free auto, home, and life insurance quotes. Call Lacey at 816-380-2700 or Cam at 816-380-3996 and get started on your new insurance quote today.
sure, you could drive to the city and save a few dollars on tires, but why? Young's Tire and Wheel Center in Harrisonville is family owned and operated, and their clients are like family. That, coupled with free flat tire repair on new tires for the life of the tire, means you'd be crazy to drive all over the place to save $1. Trust Young's. That's who Fortis trusts to get them safely to all Wildcat games, home or away. Young's Tile and Wheel Center on South Commercial in Harrisonville. Sherwood Community Bank is the hometown bank with all the big bank perks. Internet banking, auto, home, boat, and farm loans. You can get it all at one of their 4 convenient locations in Urick, Creighton, Garden City, or Harrisonville. Checking or savings account all you need? Don't worry. Sherwood Community Bank has you covered there as well. Stop going to the banks where you're just an account number. Go to Sherwood Community Bank where you're part of the family.
And tell them Braxton sent ya.
Sure, you could drive to the city and save a few dollars on tires, but why? Young's Tire and Wheel Center in Harrisonville is family owned and operated, and their clients are like family. That, coupled with free flat tire repair on new tires for the life of the tire, means you'd be crazy to drive all over the place to save $1. Trust Young's. That's who Fortis trusts to get them safely to all Wildcat games, home or away. Young's Tile and Wheel Center on South Commercial in Harrisonville. Stop going online and paying top dollar to make a t-shirt. Call Cindy at C Squared Embroidery and Screen Printing. She will walk you through the whole process and have you or your organization looking the best. It's no mistake that Fortis Broadcasting is always the best dressed crew around. We trust Cindy with all of our apparel on game day. Put a personal C Squared touch on your next order. Whether it's just 1 or 100, C Squared Embroidery and Screen Printing can get it done. Check them out on Facebook or go see them on the Clinton Square. Sure, you could drive to the city and save a few dollars on tires, but why? Young's Tire and Wheel Center in Harrisonville is family owned and operated, and their clients are like family. That, coupled with free flat tire repair on new tires for the life of the tire, means you'd be crazy to drive all over the place to save $1. Trust Young's. That's who Fortis trusts to get them safely to all Wildcat games, home or away. Young's Tile and Wheel Center on South Commercial in Harrisonville.
When it rains, it pours, so it's important for you to get coverage that meets your needs. Farmers Insurance Agent Bradley Sainer can help you understand your options so you can be prepared for what the forecast brings. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. Learn more by calling Farmers Agent Bradley Sainer at 816-974-8105 to find out how he can help you protect the things that matters most to you. That's Bradley Sainer at 816-974-8105.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
How nice would it be to get a check from someone and not have to worry about getting to the bank to put it in your account? At Hawthorne Bank, you can do exactly that. Simply open your mobile banking app, take a picture of the check, and voila, the check has been deposited into your account. Not to mention, you can always manage your accounts and payments right in the app as well. Hawthorne Bank prides itself on being at the forefront of technology to always make your banking a breeze. Hawthorne Bank, next to Troby's on Plaza Drive. We all have a checklist when it comes to getting car care. No matter what is on your list, convenience, knowledge, affordability, friendliness, Colby's Car Clinic has you covered. Convenience is being right here in Harrisonville and taking care of all car care problems. From an oil change to tires and everything in between, it's your only stop. Knowledge is covered with having an ASE certified master technician. Affordability means they will work with you to not break your budget. And friendliness greets you each time you walk in the door as they treat you like an old friend. Go see Colby and the gang right behind O'Reilly's in the Big Blue building.
Does your lawn need some TLC? Owned and operated by 3 generations of Wildcats, Held's Turf Farm is your local stop for sod and topsoil since 1971. Whether you need 1 roll of sod, a scoop of dirt, or a whole truckload, they have you covered. A new home in your future? Give us a call at 816-540-2020 and set up a quote for new sod installation. Held's Turf Farm is located between Harrisonville and Pleasant Hill and is open 8 to 5 weekdays and 8 to noon on Saturdays.
A strong lineup is always important no matter the sport. The same should go for your insurance company as well. At Stafford & Stafford Insurance, your auto, commercial, life, health, farm, and crop insurance is all under one roof. With a lineup like that, they are sure to have your team covered. Call the team that will line up with the best of them. Stafford & Stafford Insurance in Harrisonville, located on Commercial Street across from Holland's Auto Sale.
Atkinson Funeral Home and Cremation Services has been serving families in the area since 1929. The Atkinsons take great pride in being members of the community. They will soon graduate a 4th-generation Wildcat. With this kind of commitment to Harrisonville, you know Atkinson Funeral Home will be there for you. And as always, they are proud supporters of the Harrisonville Wildcats. A community always needs a group to help promote the small businesses in its town. Harrisonville Chamber of Commerce does this for Harrisonville. Chamber Golf Tournament, Log Cabin Festival, and monthly meetings. The Chamber events are plentiful and a great way for your business to be seen. Go to harrisonvillechamber.com or watch the weekly Chamber chat for more Chamber happenings. Atkinson Funeral Home and Cremation Services has been serving families in the area since 1929. The Atkinsons take great pride in being members of the community. They will soon graduate a 4th-generation Wildcat. With this kind of commitment to Harrisonville, you know Atkinson Funeral Home will be there for you. And as always, they are proud supporters of the Harrisonville Wildcats.
All right, welcome back. You see we're joined with head coach Dave Hicks of the Wildcats. You fall 14-6 tonight, but one of the things we talked about a little bit before the game. You said one of the things you guys had struggled with at times were those innings where you get behind or you maybe have a couple errors. That was your big inning in, I believe, the bottom of the 3rd, allowed them to get 4 runs, made it a 10-1 game. On the flip side of that, though, you've got to be happy with the way the kids fought tonight and fought through the whole game. And that's got to be a good momentum boost heading into districts on Saturday.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's what I told them after the game. We gave up 6 there in the first 2. And then, 3rd inning, we would have been out of it in 3 outs. But we had some errors. And, that's kind of been our downfall, our Achilles heels, making errors and giving up runs. We'd have been out of that 6-1. It's a whole new ballgame if we don't give up 6 in the first. Give credit to Nevada. They swing it really well. Put pressure on the defense. And, we did battle back. And, I think that very easily could have been about a 6-5 or 7-6 game instead of 14-6. So we got a few things to work on before Saturday, playing Clinton in the play-in game at districts. But, I'm happy the way they battled because they very easily at 10-1 could have rolled over and went, yeah, we're done.
Yeah, and they didn't do that tonight. You got the full 7 in. It was 14-6 final score. What I take from that is if you can get into, we talked about it before the game. Once you get to district play, it's a different animal. It's not like a 5 or 7 game series you see in MLB. It's a 1 game.
One and done.
And done. You've got Saturday. you go out there on Saturday, you can get a win over Clinton. You get to Monday, which you would get to face Pleasant Hill, who's the 1 seed, who's your rival, and you throw records out the door at that point because it's a game for you to knock them down. It's a game for you to, beat them on their home field. There's all those circumstances, and you guys have had a couple close games. You had a close game with them earlier this year, 5-2, I believe.
5-3, and we were coming back on them, and we, had some mental errors that probably cost us that one. And they were, we had them back on their heels. And the biggest thing though right now is we've got to get by Clinton on Saturday because, we beat Clinton 17-0 earlier in the year, and the next night they come right down here to Nevada and lose 2-1.
Yeah, absolutely. And Clinton's always had a solid baseball program. You guys have been playing them over the years. And now with them being back in conference, you definitely get to see them every year. But you know how their baseball program's always been. They always have some players down there. So it's going to be a tough game. Don't want to discount that. But if you do, you got that chance on Monday. And end of the year, if you can start stringing together a couple of wins, it gets contagious. It's just like the Royals losing streak right now. It's contagious. They kick 1, they kick 3, they kick 5. Same thing on the other side. When you win a couple in a row, that confidence builds, and then those balls start falling your way. There was a couple hard hit balls for your guys tonight that just didn't fall. That may fall in other games.
Right.
So.
Right. And scouting report kind of said that Nevada does kind of boot it around a little bit at times, and their coach had said that, and we saw a little bit of that tonight, but not enough of it. But give them credit. They came out and played on top, and that's where you want to be.
Well, nevertheless, you fall, but you get some good work in before district starts on Saturday. And, we're hoping for a win on Saturday that we can be right back out on Monday night, I think, at 7 o'clock. Hopefully, if the game gets in, if it doesn't get rained out, that we can be out there on Monday evening at 7 o'clock to watch you guys again. That's one of the reasons we wanted to jump on this game because we never know what'll happen during this time of year.
And, we got all of our pitchers working except for, Aaron Bryans. He's got a little bit of a sore elbow right now, and we didn't get Nathan Lyon in, who's been a real nice surprise on the mound. But, the whole purpose of this game was getting those guys some innings, getting some reps in there, and getting them ready for Saturday and Monday. So I think we got mission accomplished on that end. Unfortunately, we got a few other things we got to work on to get there.
Overall, thought you guys swung the bats well, though, so that's looking good going into, started off a little shaky there, but, got the bats going as well. And
we did get the bats going, and I told the boys, I said, we kind of watched some videos on some stuff and some mental aspect and mental approach, and, we did a better job with 2-strike hitting, too. We had some nice 2-strike base hits. Led off the game with a 2-strike base hit. That's right, Jerry. And, and Connor Blix, he was, I think, 2 for 4 or something, 2 for 3. So that's why he's up there. And, so, I watch these guys, and I said, we still take too many strikes, but, they did a good job of battling. I don't know what our strikeouts were. I'd have to go back and look, but we've got to cut down on those for sure.
Well, if I look, 4 out of the first 6 struck out, but then you kind of got it going a little bit better after that. But, you never know what happens. We're glad we were able to come down. We always like to get some games in, and it's been I was telling Jerry, it's been a wild and crazy spring between the weather. You only had 4 home games.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, then I was student teaching right back, so it was a little bit hard to get to those 4 or 4:30 games.
It is, and we with only 4 home games, and we were talking to I think it was a district seed meeting. Somebody goes, "Holy crap, your schedule is not easy." No, it's not. It's a meat grinder. We play 3 6-class schools, 5 Class 5s, and everybody else is Class 4. And we don't play. Obviously, we play Nevadas. We play those type of schools. We went down to Webb City and played Webb City, who's Class 5, ranked number 3 in Class 5, and Hillcrest, who's a Class 6 school, and walked them off in the 11th. And, we gave up 8 in the first to Webb City, and then shut them down after that. So, we do play a tough schedule for a reason. We don't play any patsies, and we think we're going to get better because of it.
Well, and you want to play your best ball win, come district
right
time.
now.
So,
Yep.
you got the 14-6, you got the 6 runs on today. Hopefully that kind of tailors over into the weekend, and we wish you good luck this weekend. Hope to see
All
you
right.
Monday night.
You bet. I hope so too.
So
All
that
right.
is head coach.
Oh.
Yeah, I can give him a handshake. Okay, head coach Dave Hicks of the Harrisonville Wildcats. That is going to do it for us from Nevada. I almost said Harrisonville, and we will hopefully see you next Monday from Pleasant Hill.